You want to get a girlfriend, gotta have that big dick energy.
All right, I used
Including,
to single up to now.
including, bro. Actually though, life's been different for me. I am single, yes, but then it's like, I've been talking to someone, feeling good. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
about relationships, but hey, bro, I'm having fun.
All
It's
right,
one of
all right.
those things.
Having fun like some 80s guy in
Bro,
a movie with a leather jacket.
yeah, bro, I got my shades, slick back hair. It's like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, you know,
Some thick accent.
Duke Nukem type shit.
Yeah.
Wait, you ever played Duke Nukem?
Yeah, oh yeah, no. I just know all the clips. You know all those clips everyone was sharing back in the day when Duke Nukem was cool?
Yeah, like armor is for pussies, and it was like the
Yeah.
Master Chief armor.
Yeah, and then there was like, I'm here to chew gum and kick ass. And it was like the most American
And
rap
I'm
voice
all
like
up.
action.
Literally, bro, Duke Nukem was different, man. That was like that whole I think it was mid 2000s to like late 2000s era where like everything had to be so badass. You
Yeah,
remember that?
it was like
Like
off the act of Terminator. Like I remember everyone was like into Terminator like up to like 20 years for that
dude,
point, right?
everybody, yeah, everybody's wearing like blackout shades. I remember reading comic books at that time, and like all the comic book characters were outrageously buff. Like all the male ones, their chests just did not look real, dude. They
Yeah, it was like
they looked
some
fucking
JoJo
crazy.
Adventure stuff, you
And,
know?
nah, bro, not even like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure could like stack up to that shit, dude. It was wild. And then the worst part was like all the female characters, like they all looked fucking naked, basically. It was like that thing in an RPG where but like the best armor is the one that basically leaves you exposed.
Yeah, that reminds me of like the Skyrim mod scene because like in Skyrim, it's always like every mod for a female body is like just it's like a bikini.
Literally, bro, it's just like it's just a fucking bikini. Like in real life, how is a bikini gonna make me basically nuke proof? Because like that's what these things be doing, bro. They make you like flame resistant. You can't drown or some shit, but it's just a bikini.
Uh, like radiation resistance, like
Oh
everything
shit!
resistant. It's like
You remember the Resident Evil movies?
oh, I remember those ones. Those were like really cool as a kid when you didn't know that it was supposed to be scary.
Yeah, and then like you watch them now, it's like, damn, that's so nasty. Because like I
Really
remember there was
scary.
a Dragon Ball Z movie, Dragon Ball
Mm.
Evolution. Yo, shout out to anybody who remembers this movie because everybody hated it. I remember as a kid, that was like, because I think it was like I had just been watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z on like Cartoon Network and stuff, and I found this movie on my dad's computer. I was like, wait, why does the old man have a Dragon Ball movie? I watched it. I thought it was so dope until like
Mm-hmm.
I grew up years later, and it's like me first year of high school. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna rewatch this movie. I couldn't even go through 5 minutes of it without going like, yo, it
Yeah,
was
bro.
so terrible.
Yeah, bro. It's weird. Like, do you know how many movies from the 2000s always like are so good in your memory, but then you like try them out and they just look
Yeah,
awful.
they just don't hold up, bro. Except for
Yeah,
Shrek.
like
My sister's been watching Shrek on Netflix, and I was like, damn, still great to this.
oh yeah, no, Shrek was different, bro. It was a vibe. Like it had so many adult jokes you don't realize when you're watching it. That when someone tells you, remember
Yeah,
that time
bro.
the king was like in the first movie when the king was caught jerking off, you know?
Oh yeah, what was his name again? Was it Lord Dickwad or some shit? Because I remember it was some sexual innuendo like that, like Lord Dickwad. And then like there was that one scene where he was caught fapping, but then we all didn't know.
Yeah, bro.
But Shrek was wild. I saw some
Mm.
meme. You seen that Chad face guy? Like that one model who's always like taking those pictures in black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was like Donkey after smashing the dragon. It was like Donkey's head, and then it kind of look like that guy. Wait, which was it in like Shrek 2? Where it's like Shrek sold the day he was born. So it's like the first movie never happened,
uh,
and they're like it was 2, right?
no, I think it was three when he was like very insecure about his relationship with Fiona. So he became like human.
Okay, then now I'm talking about the second one because like it was the second one he sold his the day he was born to some weird guy or whatever, right? So it's like the funniest thing about that movie, at least for me personally, was like watching Donkey doing normal Donkey things. Because like when Shrek meets Donkey for the first time after he sells his birthday, nobody remembers Shrek except Shrek. So it's like he gets captured by these witches and they have Donkey pull a card. And I just found that so funny. I have never seen this Donkey do anything normal.
That's like the biggest role reversal that I've ever heard about.
Actually, bro. And I think it's shit like that in my childhood that like messed up my humor now. Cause like have you seen that like that one video everybody keeps talking about? It's like if you laugh at this, your humor is like it's basically fucked. And it's like just a piece of bread and then it falls over.
But then I can imagine it and wow.
Bro, I busted out laughing when I saw it the first time because I was like, bro, there's no way I'm laughing, right? And like it just the bread is just sitting there, like it's standing perfectly upright for like 5, 6 seconds, and then it just falls over. And I found that so funny.
Yeah, I bet like, bro. Sometimes it's just like when you're expecting it, like when someone says something like, if you laugh at this and you have massive sense of humor, it's like, it just starts to be joke, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it just makes it funny. Like, oh shit, dude, it's so funny because it's true. Yeah, actually, dude, I remember. I remember those. Apparently, this was like way back at the old high school before we got there. It was like because you know how like they'd have those was it Saturday night church services
Yeah.
and the director fell down the stairs and everybody busted out laughing. Apparently, like it was some of the saddest shit because like even the prefects were laughing too.
You know, towards like, I can imagine it. It's kind of funny, which makes you feel like a bad person now, you know?
Yeah, because like apparently the who's that guy again? The inspector got really upset and like started whooping people's asses, bro.
At
Oh, it was
church?
yeah, bro. And
Do you know this sounds like one of those comedy skits you see in like those like over dramatic 90s, 80s comedy movies?
yeah, man, because like there's a lot of instances where but, like shit is just weird like that.
Yeah.
Is that maybe our sense of humor is fucked? Maybe it isn't.
Maybe it's just a cultural thing because like the entire school started laughing. That's not natural. That's like a culture or something like that. Something foundational. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro. Because like, what's funny here is like really socially unacceptable. Some in some other places, which is like, I'm kind of glad in a sense that like this place is kind of backwards as far as like keeping up with the times. You get what I mean?
Yeah, but in the worst thing is that when it happens to you and you're like, so I really need some help, and everyone's just laughing. No, bro, like, are you okay? Just laughing at your pain.
Bro, what do you mean? It has happened to me. You remember that time when you guys told me that you guys made a bet on how long it would take for me to break up with my girlfriend? What the fuck was that?
Okay, I'm not Chicho. Now, let's take a step back, right? It's that you got into a relationship with someone who was like a red flag, a walking red flag. You get what I mean?
Okay, yeah, I do get that now,
Yes.
but
No,
obviously at the
like,
time, your boys weren't saying
no,
anything.
you don't say at the time, right? Because this was like very suspicious if you think about it, right? This person you've known for
Mm.
3 years, and everyone's avoided and told
I
you to
didn't know
avoid.
her, bro. I didn't even know her for 3 years. Deadass, that was like that was my first time talking to her.
Okay, okay, when it was both of us to assume you had some common sense. Okay, not okay. Well, I apologize.
Bro, dude. It was my first time ever talking to her. I ever told her this, like, hey, yo, we've been in the same class for like maybe 2 or 3 years now. I've never noticed you until now.
Like, I also felt the same way. Like I remember in the last week of like school, and we were about to leave, right after exams. There was two
Yeah.
people in our class that I was just meeting for the first time after 5 years. I was like, oh,
Seriously, and what makes it worse is like your class, like the roster of people in your class barely ever changed. It was always the same people.
I mean, like in the general sense, like the entire form. You get what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. I feel that. But yeah, you're
Because
saying how was it? Okay,
I feel like at some point the number of people who were just coming and going got so high that you couldn't keep track. It was like,
yeah, that is true though. But we're getting carried away. Yeah. So you were saying, firstly, she was walking red flag.
yeah. Which are we allowed to mention details? of why she was a walking red flag, or can that get us sued for exposing someone's personal tendencies or whatever?
As long as like it doesn't get like hateful territories. Obviously, she
Could be
you know she
fine.
had a spotty record, strange history.
What do you reckon?
It's just that,
Oh, okay, but then
yeah,
it's like
spotty
the
record.
main issue I would say is that all her relationships ended in the same way, so we kind of fortunate what you're getting into.
But then, even though this makes me sound super toxic, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna say this, all right? Listen carefully, podcast. Every time she was always the one dumping, and I'm gonna say it, I was the first one to dump her. It's a dub, gentlemen. It's a fucking dub. Let's go.
Bro,
We're horrible people.
wow, sometimes I wonder what happened for like our group of friends to be this toxic sometimes.
Oh, but then it's like I'm not even that toxic because like
Yeah, by
they're worse.
comparison, no, you have to
By
mention
comparison,
comparison. That doesn't make it better. It just means by comparison, you're not the absolute worst.
okay. So when you compare us to normal, I will admit we are a bit extra. That whole group chat, we are just sick. But
But
then some more than others. But that's not important right now.
right now, we're talking about the experience, not the person.
Yeah, the experience. The experience. It was just. I guess you can just say it was like it was just wrong time, wrong place.
Yeah, well, you know what to say. The best high school relationships are like really bad, they're like really bad
Oh, what?
for you.
No, that's cool. I was chilling, right? And I came to this epiphany. I don't know who I explained this to. I think I was talking to Shalom and I explained this to Shalom. Like, yo, I realize now part of the reason why I wasn't very popular in high school was because I was moving mad. Because back then, right? Every time I had a crush on a girl, and I had a crush on a lot of girls.
Mhm. It
I was
was
like,
like,
yeah, like I always felt like there was an obstacle in my way. Like there just always had to be a group of guys that are trying to get the same thing, or like that one guy who's so persistent, right? And I realize now I was a fucking home wrecker, bro.
just go there,
Cause
like
back it,
you have the people, and you just show up with like full intention of like, okay, I'm
literally,
gonna fuck it up.
I'm gonna steal your girl, bro. Because I realize now that's why a lot of the guys that you know, like there were guys who didn't talk to me, or guys who straight up hated me and treated me awfully, bro. There were even like some girls. At some point, I remember some girls started calling me the enemy of progress and the relationship killer. And I didn't bag it until now. That like, bro, they were calling me out.
Like
So
I'm hearing this, and I'm like honestly surprised. Be like, I don't remember it was this intense. I just used to think there was like a small joke people used to pass around. You get what I mean? But I never knew like
damn,
the professional like progress topper in the entire
I
class.
didn't. I didn't. Apparently, it wasn't even the entire class, but like the whole fucking grade. So Baggett, let me expose myself here a little bit. Baggett, my first girl. Um, she liked another guy at the time, right? And the other guy liked her as well. I don't remember what I did, but like I did ask like publicly expose this guy in some way that just like made his credibility just drop, just so I could get this girl. And I'm just gonna admit, yeah, I did some shitty things, gentlemen. I'm a changed person. I'm a changed
Yeah.
person. Second girl I had a crush on, who is immediately because like the first one immediately dumped me. I don't life was pain, bro. Because it's like second shotty. What happened? I remember there were like a bunch of guys lined up, and I was just like knocking them down, dude, left, right, and center. Like I was jumping through hoops, bro. I was simping. I'm not gonna lie, I was a fucking simp at that point. Very disgusting. Third one, fuck. Third one is the worst one, I think, because this one, she had a boyfriend, and I was responsible for their breakup. And the week after they broke up, we started dating. So it was like, I think that was one that killed my reputation.
So I was like, bro, like after hearing that story, you sound like the mastermind, like the guy who planned everything from start. Like, I'm gonna fuck this shit up. So in 1 week later, I'm that guy. Like such
Literally,
a
bro,
guy.
because like, bro, I mean, like, the boyfriend was kind of whack. He was up to like no good. He was a bit of an asshole, but then like still to, to pull through cause a breakup, and then get with the girl who just dumped you a week later. And the whole time, like leading up to the breakup, we were already talking. It's like, damn, I was the menace to society. And this
So,
continues for basically all throughout high school. So that's like five extra girls after that. So I've mentioned three, so five plus three was five. So that's like,
no, you guys
so
make
yeah.
high school relationships seem so dramatic because I was just there, you know. I had a good time and then bus we ended. Oh, it was just so simple. And then like I hear your stories, I'm just like, what?
Let me just expose Carlos in front of the whole podcast right now, all right?
What do you mean expose Carlos?
One incident. Carlos is, there's this one incident. You remember the Dubai girl?
The what? Yeah, I mean like there's nothing wrong with five people. I mean I have nothing against five people.
No, no, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but then like the way the group chat spins it, the way the boys spin it is Carlos lost his girl to another woman, and everybody laughs at him for that.
No, I mean like actually I learned this the hard way, right? But if someone has issues, you shouldn't go trying to date that person and say you're going to help them with the issues. Doesn't make sense, okay? It's
100%.
not healthy.
That is that is facts,
Hmm?
dude. That is not good for you, and you will like just ruin your life in the process, man.
Yeah,
Terrible.
but like the number of people that say, "Oh, he's depressed. I want to help him." That's not good.
Yeah,
If
I
you want
think
to help,
that's
like send him to a therapist. Don't be his emotional support. You know.
yeah, that's very fickle, especially like
Mm.
with teenagers. That's the last thing you want to be doing. Yeah, here at Roller Culture, we really, really, really fuck, what's the word I'm looking for? Damn it, my English is not here today. We really, I guess, incentivize educating the youth. Scratch that anyway.
Oh,
But here at
you should be
Roller
okay
Culture,
with what?
we really incentivize educating the youth, give out all kinds of advice. The best advice we can give you is, man, do not
Mm-hmm.
do not interfere in other people's problems unless they ask you to, man.
Or
You will send them to
unless
the
they're
police.
like really.
Yeah, unless like it's really bad. Like let's say your homeboy is considering ending it all. Then yes, you should probably interfere. But then like if it's like, oh, she got daddy issues, I'm gonna be her new daddy. No, no, don't
No,
lie to yourself, bro.
yeah, you just like don't. If you have your own issues, deal with those first.
Personally, for me, I have no beef with bi people or even like people who have sexual preferences that aren't straight, right? But all I'm saying is, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that 100% of the population, both sides, male, female, and even in between, have an opportunity at stealing my girlfriend. I would not be able to sleep at night, my guy. You
Well, I
have
mean,
like
bro,
a supreme
no,
level of confidence that no one on earth does, bro.
no, bro. It's just that I'm a very lazy guy, so I didn't have the time to worry about that. That's just how it is.
Bro,
No, no,
what
because
the
think
fuck?
about it,
What kind
right?
of reasoning is that?
Maybe the issue here is that you have had the experience of stealing someone else's girl, right? So you're like, you know what?
Yeah.
Some guy might be just
Okay,
like
so
me out there.
how would you?
Yeah,
But then you didn't know the one and two of stealing another man's girl, and you didn't give enough of a shit. I still wouldn't be able to even her own gal pals could finesse my girl. Like that would be
okay, but then okay, if you feel like that, then that's just risky, bro. Because like 100%, I mean, like not everyone's gay.
yeah, I get
Cause
what you
like,
mean. Movies,
uh
movies. I haven't really watched any movies, bro.
cause like the
Not at all.
Suicide Squad came out last week and Fast
Oh
Nine, I
wait,
think the week before.
I watched Fast Nine. Yeah, I watched Fast Nine with my cousin, and basically my whole family was watching Fast Nine. That shit was funny as hell. Because it's like every time something ridiculous happened on screen, it's either like one of us would shout family, or we'll just like point out how wacky it is that like these guys are launching a fucking car into space. It was like the funniest shit ever.
Bro, like the past series, I don't know. It's good and so if you top. That if you're to show like a kid that this is the first Fast and Furious movie, they wouldn't believe you, bro. That was just a street racing movie. They
Bro,
wouldn't believe you.
maybe. Like no one will believe me if I said like, yeah, Fast and Furious educated me on serious car culture as a child. Not at
Uh,
all. Dude, what the bro? Me and my cousin, like, we had enough. Like early on in the movie when they pointed out that Roman got shot and his but he didn't have a single wound on him. And they started contemplating the fact that they might have superpowers. I was like, fuck it, dude. Fast 10,
bro,
Avengers Assemble. Let's do.
bro, bro. At this point, it's crazy. Like I remember, Fast Five was like the cool one when they're like, you know, what? Let's rob a bank. And then it was cool because like we had a tank and all that stuff, right? I knew it was still believable. When six and seven, they were trying. When eight, we were just like, you
Yeah,
know what?
they were like
We
pushing the limits.
we have a budget, you know?
We have a fucking budget, boys. Let's go. Nine is
Yeah,
just
bro.
like, fuck, fuck it. It is what it is. We just going, characters rising from the dead.
Yeah, and then there was like that one with the Rock, and then it was like a solo movie whereby he fought like a super
Yeah,
soldier.
a super soldier, dude. A fucking
Yeah,
black Superman. What is that? Hey, yo,
bro.
the executive, these executives are moving kind of mad. Like, chill.
Bro, it was like they were sitting down in the office. Okay, so what can we do? Okay, Black Lives Matter is trending right now. Super soldiers, Captain America did that well. So let's get The Rock to fight a black Superman. And then I was like, get this
I
man a pay
love
raise.
it. Literally, bro.
Mm.
Or like it was like that meme, that meme where like corporate it's like, okay, the guy's like, okay, we need fast and furious ideas for a new solo movie. And like they explain the whole super soldier thing and like one normal guy's like, hey, maybe we should do one about street racing. And he gets thrown out the fucking window, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure maybe like 2 years from now we're gonna get out of ideas. They're gonna make one that's like back to retro. You get what I mean? That's actually
Oh,
about street
like,
racing.
yo, what if they end up putting it Back to the Future? I see Fast and Furious going in the same direction as Back to the Future at this point. Like they're thinking about it, dude. Like you can tell somebody they could put Star Wars too, but it's like because like the first three Star Wars movies were like proper movies, and then the other three after that were pre.
Hmm.
So are we seeing? Yeah, we definitely 100% we are getting a Fast and Furious pre.
Yeah, because
But
at this
yo,
point, like after the Rock pushed, was it a submarine or was it a missile?
I think I don't know, bro.
It
The
was
Rock
an
is
eight.
basically Chris Redfield at this point, bro.
Yeah,
I think it was
like after I did that, I was like, you know what? These movies have gone too much, too much.
because like when I watched that scene, I was like, dude, it's fucking Chris Redfield. This is Chris punching a boulder. This is Chris Redfield. I'm not hearing anything. Somebody who was producing the movie obviously played Resident Evil before they wrote the script or whatever.
Yeah, as you know, it would be like super cool if you had like, who's the antagonist of Resident Evil again with the glasses? Was it Wester, right?
Oh, West. Yeah, I think it's Western or
Yeah,
Westy.
like
Fuck yeah, I don't
I don't know. But in that game, if you had someone like that in Fast and Furious, he would be like the perfect antagonist. So we couldn't kill for like 5 movies straight because he just got more over
know.
the top every time.
And then like at his death scene, like Don Fredo, he's probably like 90 years old, and he's like, "I told you, T virus ain't stronger than family." And
Ain't
then
stronger than family.
it ain't stronger than family. The cure was family, and like the whole zombie apocalypse ends
Mm.
there. Oh, what
Then
the
at the
fuck,
end,
dude?
we're
That's
just
crazy.
having a barbecue on top of like, I don't know, like the White House or
Yeah,
something like
dude, a fucking barbecue, man. I wonder what is it like to actually go to one of those barbecues, man.
that. Yeah,
I want to have one of those.
just have a barbecue and then just make it like, just get some guy that has like that vibe, like, this is family time.
Bro, but my
Like, I
mom
don't.
has my mom is John Toretto vibes. Cause like she also always says family. Like 2 days, a day can't go by with my mom saying family at least like 5 times.
And what a wonderful family we are.
Yo, literally. Yo, wait. Wait. Actually, though, Edwin's. My mom confirmed. Fast and Furious 20. Back to Africa, bro. It would be like some Madagascar shit. They get shipped out to Africa.
But that reminds Madagascar is also a vibe. Like There was Shrek and Madagascar. I feel like those were like really cool.
Oh,
But then the
yeah,
penguins
actually.
of Madagascar.
Speaking of Madagascar, I have this really dark theory about Madagascar that I saw on Reddit. Before I actually say that theory, what am I gonna say? Today is actually Friday the 13th, so we're recording
Hmm.
this on Friday the 13th. Really spooky
Actually,
and experiencing a lot of weird shit leading up to today, bro. Because I think it was like the day before yesterday. Apparently, my mom came into my room in the middle of the night and she found me sitting upright in my bed, like leaning against the wall, full on like meditation mode or something like that. This is like at 3 in the morning, and that's like the witching hour. And she calls my name, and I'm like, yeah. Then she's like, go to sleep, I'm like, cool. And I go back to sleep. And I've been having the craziest dreams, dude. Like I'm seeing like death, and I don't mean like people dying, but then like the embodiment of death, like Castlevania style.
wow.
And I keep waking up before my alarm, dude. I keep waking up at 7 in the morning every single day, dude. I've been freaking out, and then those kid hits up the group chat, yo boys, you notice today's Friday the 13th? I'm like, fuck, what?
Well, bro, this is like just the prequel to like a horror movie in the making, and also the fact that you live right next to the woods too.
Dude, actually though, I do. Bro, what if there's like some woodland spirit, like it's trying to talk to me? Wait, you have you watched what's that Netflix?
I don't watch horror movies. I only watch horror movies like when it's a group event. Otherwise, I would.
Horror movies are bad, but yeah, the rituals like basically these guys like go on a hiking trip and they're supposed to go around the forest, but then one of their homeboys gets injured and like they go through the forest and they find like all these like religious effigies and whatnot, and like every time someone dies, they keep getting found like carved up, hanging in the trees. So
Oh.
what if is this a theory confirmed? The woods behind my house are haunted.
I just read. I wouldn't be surprised with with types of stories we have in Malawi about woods.
Sure, you did everything. Every weird piece of like old shit, you always find like some ritual spot in the woods. Or like even back at school, dude. Apparently, like in those mountains, people used to practice some really freaky shit.
Yeah, I remember. Wasn't that the entire premise of that hostel that used to be like a witchcraft sport, and then the guys had to do some stuff? At least that's what the guard told us.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that it wasn't even solved after we did that. We had to do some more stuff.
Back to like my Madagascar theory, right? So there's this theory that Mort from Madagascar is actually a god of death. So
Really?
apparently it goes like this, but like yeah, apparently Madagascar, like in the movie Madagascar, like Mort's cage, like he was trapped there by these like ancient gods that like all the lemurs pray to. Because like in the King Julian show, it's like it's
Mm-hmm.
stated multiple times that these guys prayed like some next gods, right? And like every time somebody prays in these episodes, like shit happens. Like the gods actually like answer their prayers type deal, right? So it's rumored that every time somebody goes to Madagascar, Mort is actually stealing their soul. And if he stole enough souls, he would be able to leave the island. And it basically explains like
Oh.
if you remember in Madagascar, like Alex and those guys after they escaped the zoo, like they weren't the first people to like escape to Madagascar, right? So it's like more just
Mm-hmm.
pulls people individually, and like when he got Alex and the whole gang, it was like he got super lucky, and so it's like the theory kind of like loses its shit from there. It starts explaining how like bro, Mort has like these mind manipulation powers because like he's always seen like influencing people in a sense. Because like if you bag it, especially in the King Julian show, it's like he does a lot of shady shit where but like he's just able to convince people to, like start rioting or to like have an opposing opinion to like whatever the other person is saying. And like every time, and this kind of like caught me off guard because like it's something I never really thought about when I'm watching these Madagascar movies. Like, but Mort demands a lot of sacrifices. Like he really demands people give him a lot of shit, be it money,
Oh yeah,
their
true,
own
true.
like free will, their mortal possessions. Like Mort is always demanding sacrifices, bro. And in the King Julian show, apparently there was like a point where, but like people started sacrificing their own children to Mort. Yeah, like Mort started a loan shark system or something like that, right? And he basically, because like the island introduced
Mm-hmm.
money, it's sort of barter trade. and like he had all the money, and since they couldn't pay, he started saying, "You pay me in like your stuff and even your children."
This sounds like so extra
That
for
would
a
tell this
children's
guy,
movie, but then like a lot of children's movies that like have dark origins for some reason.
yeah, a lot of like the kids movies from our childhood were just really fucking weird. But yeah, tag it, man.
Like I
March is
remember,
super
was it
good, man.
Courage the Cowardly Dog, right?
Yeah, what
Like
about
that show
that?
used to give me nightmares as a kid. That was like the one cartoon I couldn't handle.
That show.
Huh?
The, there was one episode I think it was called like Curse of King Ramses. But then like I think you've seen clips of it. It was like that one
Hmm.
episode where like the villain was this dude covered up in rags and he was in 3D. Because like the whole show is in 2D. He was the only, you remember that, right? I think it was called The Curse of King Ramses or something like that. Like the episode in that current
Mm-hmm.
season. It was like it was really freaky. Like it dead ass for me, bro. That episode gave me nightmares because like there was this dude, he was like kind of balding, he was wearing like rags and shit. And it was like everywhere he
Yeah.
stood, even when it was in, it was like a wind
Mm-hmm.
blowing. I can't remember what he used to say, but it was like some really dark shit. And what made it worse was like he contrasted the show so much because like he was rendered in 3D where everybody else is in 2D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, that shit was crazy. Courage was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. That shit
You
was
watch
just
all the
like,
cartoons?
and also like the art style itself was like weird in its own way.
Yeah, it was kind of polished, but
Yo.
not polished in a sense.
Yeah, and it was like they're also like isolated in like the middle of nowhere too, so that just can add it like this, so that you vibe and whatnot.
Yeah, dude, because like all the other cartoons at the time were so cheery and bright and shit, and then like you go on Cartoon Network, maybe you watch a few episodes of like I don't know, Ed, Edd and Eddie, and then Courage comes on. It's like, oh shit,
Yeah, you bet
the
your
sun
soup
is
bet
down.
lady. Yeah, and it was like always like in that time we just not have a good show available, so you just had like either that or you find some boring show.
Yeah, man. But alright, it's been me, the boy Edwin. If you enjoyed the episode, share with your friends. Follow us on Instagram at World Culture. Alright, World Culture out.